Hello everyone, welcome back to Loco Shortline Operations. Now we are here back on map 1, which I haven't been on in an age, and I just thought we'd come and have a look. There's a build going on. This isn't actually a very old version of the build, but there's a bit of a build going on by TrainswithNick, who built the yard previously shown on the channel. I thought we'll come over here, we'll have a look at what standard gauge has to offer, because we haven't really covered that yet. So let's get into it, shall we? Oh yes, here we are once again. Now, as I say, this is an older version of TrainswithNick's map. He's working on it currently. Yeah, stay still, mouse, thank you. And as you can see, we've got a tail end of a train over there, which probably gives you a little idea of what we're going to go and do today. But before we go and explore the map, I thought we'd have a look at what we have available for standard gauge, because my map is all about narrow gauge. I make no apologies or excuses for that. I just enjoy the little trains and what we can do with them. And I think it's a great way to start out for most people, because you don't start with $503,000 in your bank account. You only have 10. So anyway, on with what we're supposed to be doing here. So first of all, we have the Trojan, which let's just bring that up for anyone who isn't familiar with it. It's a little Great Western 040, and got a couple of color options. Got a purple, which is inspired by another much larger steam locomotive. I believe it's on Severn Valley Railway, that has been painted to celebrate the Queen's Jubilee year. So we have that little homage to that. Anyway, as I say, nice basic little 040. Possibly a likely loco to start out with, to be fair, if you're going standard gauge in this game. Next up, we have the LDM-12. You may have seen this before. I can't remember if I've shown it off or not, to be honest, but yeah, again, another little 040 jack shaft driven. This time it is a diesel, so we've got a little diesel set up here. So at the moment we can fill from spawn on the diesel. It does have a much bigger tank than the narrow gauge. Let's just so we do have run-up engine sounds in the game now, as you can hear. Just shut that off. Don't want it to be too loud. We are going to get the engine run-down sounds as well at some point. Not been done yet, but they will be done. I say at the moment you can still get diesel from spawn when you start the game. That's not always going to be a feature though. Eventually you will have to go find some oil, and there are quite a few spots around the map. I'm not going to spoil where they are, but you go find a wellhead, you build a pump for it and some crude oil storage, extract it from the ground, build a refinery and some diesel storage, and hey presto, you have fuel for your diesel locos. Alright, moving on. Let's just get that off the table. We have the F40. Bit of a beast here in a mock Amtrak livery. Or you can have it in a rather fetching blue. A darker royal blue, which I do like that. The orange roof. We have a yellow and black. Much, much darker blue. Or back to the default livery. As you can see, getting a choice of liveries on a few locos now. Actually, never had a look. No, so that just comes with it. Default livery on that one. Next up, we have DEM2. Now, I'm not even going to pretend to know where these come from. I mean, it says here build a USSR, so I'm going to accept it is a Russian loco. I don't know though. Just one colour option on that. We have the two TE116. Now these are actually supposed to be run in pairs back to back. As you'll see, there's a corridor connection there. So the idea is you have two of these back to back and you have one heck of a power plant with a pair of those. We have colour options on this as well. We have the green, we have the red, and we have the two-tone blue. Next up. Now I know that this isn't a final version of this. Whether this is going to be refined or there is talk of actually trying to get a complete new model of Class 66. But it is in there for now. No colour options. As I say, that's just a temporary loco, to be fair. If we go in, you can see it's got a default cab. You know, it's there. It's options. If you are British train enthusiast, there is at least a placeholder loco there for you. Next up, we have what many people will be familiar with if they've played this game from pretty much the start, is the SD70. And once again, got some colour options for this. So 3 colour options for that one. Nice big beast for loco, and I think this just has to be done really. Let's put a little bit of fuel in it. Beautiful. So, next up, we have the CNR H6. Frequently seen double and triple head and long freight trains. Wow. Not sure if this is Eastern European, Chinese. Really not sure. No colour options on that again, and the tender is available separately for that. Next up, we have the Alco FA1. So, completely different cab to anything else you're going to see, and I like this. If I was doing standard gauge, I would have a few of these, it has to be said. we go. Now, I don't know whether you can hear that or not, but it does have a slightly different engine sound to the SD70. They're not the same, not copied over. No colour options on that as of yet. And of course we have the B unit to go with it. So you could multiple an A and a B unit. You could go ABB, ABA, AA, ABBA. All of those combinations would have been found out in the real world, and yeah, they're all there for you to go and play with. Next, back to the Steamies, and something else for the British Steam fans. Not gonna fire up any of the Steam locos, they do take a little while to get running, and yeah, you can go experience for yourself. Just the one colour option on that as well. Now, the one that's caused a few disagreements, whether it's a mogul or not. I don't know the definitive answer. The internet seems to be unclear whether a mogul is a 260 or whether a 460 can still be a mogul. It's an American steam locomotive, that's the important thing you need to know. And it has a bewildering array of colour options, as you can see. So you can colour the wheels and the loco body independently. Next up. Oh, he's up. Right. Come here, little train. We have Stephenson's rocket. There is a little tender to go with this, should you wish. For obvious reasons, no colour option on that, but I think that'd be a fun way to start out. Oh, went a bit quick there towards the table. Next up, we have a metro car. So, if you're familiar with New York subways, or indeed any of the subway systems in America, you'll probably be familiar with this train right here. So, a little bit of a Spartan cab, admittedly. Away you go. Oh, and that is how you crash one of those. Wow, that gets up speed rather quick. Luckily, we can reset it with a simple F8 maneuver. Go like that. Don't expect that. No colour options on that. Now, as you will have seen, I filled up with fuel, even though it's an electric, and that train actually gives you two clues as to what's coming in the future. A proper electric train, and I like the way it's going to be handled. Rather, it's going to be a unique thing. They are coming in the future. I'm not going to talk too much about it because things may change as we go on, but they are coming. And also, that's a passenger train. So what good is a passenger train without passengers? See where I'm going with that? passengers are confirmed. I can't say when. Can't say how exactly because I haven't seen it in practice for myself, but I know they're coming. Next up, the BR24. Yeah, no colour options for that. Bit of a beast though, isn't it? So we've got that. Next up, train you should all be familiar with, the SD40-2. Now, there are some textures to be finalised, the windows to be cut out, stuff like that. But once you come in the cab, you can see it's all there, it's all to go. There is a bit of fine tuning to be done, admittedly, but without sounding like a broken record, early access and all that. Just gonna chuck a little bit of fuel in here, just so we can do this. Once again, got some colour options on this. Some seal line. Norfolk Southern Maersk Sealand. Now, I will just say, straight up, that isn't going to be in the final game. That's been made separately. Could be available as a mod, but will not be in the default package. Much like this one. And as you can see, it is just a placeholder anyway, with the branding only on one side. Santa Fe livery there. So yeah, we have the SD40-2. Next up is actually a GP40, so don't be fooled by that. And again, the body schemes, deliveries have to be finalised yet. That's why it's incorrectly labelled as an SD40. And you may be wondering, what's the difference between SD40, GP40? In a nutshell, the wheel arrangement. As you can probably see, this is a 2-axle truck, whereas if I go and grab this, you can quite clearly see 3-axle truck. And there are some other changes between the GP and the SD locomotive types. All these changes are still to come. These are once again just what's available in the game right now. Same liveries. I'd say at the moment they're just borrowed from GP, the SD40, sorry, but are all subject to change. That we're not even going to have a look at the moment. Actually, you know what? This is, as it says, a physics testing prototype, so yeah, don't expect big things from this. It's not to be taken as, oh, there's an accurate big boy in the game. So, as you've seen the label, I thought I'd just show you what it actually is. It is for physics testing purposes, not expected to be used as an in-game item at the moment. So that goes without saying, there's no color options. But I will show you this, because it's still just in testing stages. So this is actually for the narrow gauge, as you can probably see, and it's just a different variation on the gondola. So no color options because it is still in testing, but that could be coming some point soon. As you can see, developer practicing modeling skills. So it gives you a good idea actually of where the modeler is, or modeling is at, with the developer at this stage. I'd be quite happy personally to have that as it is. But once Joe's happy with it, I'm sure we'll have it released into the full game, and it will be listed then in the narrow gauge with all the other stuff. Now, this needs no introduction to most of you. Got us a Class 08. Now, as you can see, no interior whatsoever on this at the minute. There's no interior walls. We've just got a generic cab, which does have repeated controls on both sides. So, you know, it's been treated properly. Placeholder sounds for now. As you can see, move one control, the other one works. Shut the brakes are off. But we have functionally Class 08. Now this is still in development phase. This is the first model, I believe it's the first one, coming from a very talented outside source who hopefully is going to make a number of models for the game as time goes by. So we'll let that go. That is all the locomotives. We'll quickly run through the trailers. So this one's a bit of a fun one really. It's just basically a flat top placed on top of a bogie wheel set. We have the short trailer. Now this one is what most people will probably start out realistically using. No colour options on that just yet. We have the 6-plank coal wagon, the 7-plank, which as you can see is just that little bit taller and has a little bit more capacity. Of a small UK flatbed. Now that is a more realistic small flatbed wagon. If you are looking for something small like that, I would say use that over the £2,000 or $2,000 basic one. We have the 12-ton, which as you can see is not quite flatbed, but it almost is. For all intents and purposes, you wouldn't be putting coal or anything in there. We have a 15-ton, which is just one plank high. Then we have a medium trailer, which is just basically spring suspension. We have a larger medium trailer with bogie wheel sets. We have ourselves a long flatbed, which would be good for sort of your logs or your lumber. And one with rails on. So this would be for transporting your rail vehicles if you needed to. And then we have a well car, which I believe would come in well for your sort of ultra heavy industries. Let me have a look. So large materials, refining, supplies, heavy military, that kind of thing. That's right button, Nick. And of course, many of these don't have colour options because they're just basic vehicles. I believe this may have a colour option come at some point because it is a larger generic vehicle. It has sort of larger panels which you can potentially colour. So that's your 65-ton hopper. That's going to be your coal workhorse, and is what you can see a break of over there, in fact. Then we have a heavy flatbed, two heavy duty steel sides on it. So that could complement the well car. We've got a heavy flatbed too, which has the fencing on the corners. And we have a container wagon. So this would be perfect for your heavy goods. Go down there, you get multiple containers on that. We'll check there's no colour options for that one as well. Container wagon 2. And this one, look, you do have colour options. Wow, that green, certainly not going to lose that in a hurry, are you? As you can see, yeah, you could have 20-footer and a 40-footer. Or in theory, you'd flip these over and have any number of combinations. We have Hoppy, which is another gondola. No colour options on Hoppy. And then again, we get into the passenger coach. So this would be ideal for going behind your steam locos. Got two colour options on that one. This would be perfect accompaniment for the mogul, of course, in the sort of quintessential old-time American passenger coach there. And then we have the Streamliner coach, which looks like it would actually be ideal for going with the Metro car. No interior as of yet. But no, it's coming. Next up, we have the 25-ton hopper. I believe this has got to be a European design of some sort. That's a closed hopper there. Next we have the container well car. Anyone who's familiar with American railroading will be familiar with that one. We have it in the yellow or the white. Followed by a steel wagon. No, that isn't a confirmation that steel is on its way to the game. Never say never. There may be additional industries coming at some point. And we have a standard boxcar. And then we move on to the support wagons. So this is your support flatbed, the UK. It has a couple of small tanks on it. Don't know if you can actually fill those or not. I will have to confirm with Joe whether they're functional or just aesthetic purposes. Same with the tank on top of the 15-ton wagon there. Then we get into the various tenders for the steam locos. As mentioned previous, we have this for the rocket, the wooden barrel on the back. Tender 2. And we get into the big diesel tankers. You can have a loco logo on the side, or you can have Trains with Nick. I'd recommend that personally. I may be a little bit biased, I have to be honest. There may be some bias going on here, but that is certainly an option. Then we have the Tanker 2. Slightly different design, as you can see. Just one standard delivery on that one. Then Tanker 3. This has the platform on. Now it's worth saying the ladders aren't functional. So you can't walk up to a ladder and climb up it. But the walkway is functional, so you can choose to walk along there. And we do have 3 options for colouring on that. That's nice to know. And we've got a small UK tanker. Just a little 4-wheeler. Look brilliant behind your steam locos in a mixed freight. Then we have the towed brake van. Now this is the 4-width one. So this is fully functional in game and ready to use. And anyone who is more than 30 years old will probably be familiar with this design. And some of you who are less than that. This is the standard 20-ton BR brake van. Now the design actually predates British Rail by a number of years, and there's many variations with ducats and all sorts. this being a ducted type, they can be found all over the British rail network in the days when brake vans were still in use. Have a 3T16 tender, so that would be for the German looking loco. I believe that's all the vehicles I can show off today. I do have various support vehicles, including a go-kart. I don't recommend the go-kart, it is a bit unsafe. Road vehicles aren't... they're functional in the game, is how I'll put it. What I will say is don't go thinking, oh, there's a go-kart game and expect it to handle like a go-kart. Much like, don't go get yourself pickup and then be surprised that it doesn't handle like pickup. The handling on these I'm sure will be refined as time goes on, but for now they're functional and they're there to do a job, which is get across the map, or the forklift. That is very good for lifting smaller objects. If you derail your train, this is perfect for going collecting up your standard goods. And then you've got the Raven, which is a larger crane and will pick heavier objects up. Alright, with that all said, and with me having waffled on for long enough, how about we go take a quick train ride to finish off. So, fly over here. As I say, this is a very old version of this map, probably up to a month old by now. It was sent just for me to have play around and a test on and do some video drive-bys, which I shall still be doing at some point, both with the UK stuff and the American stuff. But for now, let's just go jump in here, get set up, take it for a run. Also if I'm actually in the loco, of course. So we're all fueled up. We're just going to go along, start up all three engines. Like so. As you can see, we've got GP40 alongside a couple of SD40s. Now it's worth saying, Joe has done a lot of work on this, on the physics side of it, to basically allow locos of different types to run effectively together. So you can, as you can see in the bottom left hand corner, it says linked locos 2. Now what I'll just do is get rid of that so you can see a little bit easier. So reverse forward on these, and then if you go to here, you can see the train is set to go backwards. So to reverse it actually says backward, and what that just allows the train to do, and again reverse backward on that. Yeah, what it allows the train and the game to do is say, okay, if I move the reverser to 100% forward on here, the locos that are facing the other way, it will set to reverse by the same amount. So we've got our regulator over there, brakes here, so let's bail off the brakes. The reverse is set. So let's just give it a little bit of throttle and take us out. obviously quite a long train. Just want to creep slowly so we're stretching those couplings. Not trying to drag the entire train in one go. Because of course it's going to waste fuel, which is a real thing on this. And waste a lot of energy. And also if you're trying to pick the entire train up in one go, and it's a long train, kind of going to be struggling against yourself there. Yeah, what we'll do is we'll just go for a couple of minutes run and get some scenic shots and close out the video. So there we have it, guys. A bit longer video again this week, and I do apologise for that. I would have preferred to keep it a bit shorter, but that is a look at the current state of the trains available in loco short line operations. Hopefully you have enjoyed this video. If you have, feel free to go give it a like, share it out maybe, subscribe if you haven't already, and I am going to catch you in the next one. Bye for now.